is Real Madrid, who are still at the top, but the gap has been cut by Barcelona. Now only 3 points separate the two at the top of Spanish football. Let's talk about Barcelona to start with. Ian, certainly not the perfect performance and the question marks about the high line, as we said, but ultimately I think this, after the midweek game, was just about getting 3 points, wasn't it?
I think at the end of the day for Barcelona right now, especially domestically, is about picking up 3 points, and sometimes it doesn't matter how you perform, how you defend, it's just about scoring more goals than the opponent. Certainly that's what we're being told by Hansi Flick. I mean, his objective is, in the DNA of Barcelona, is to be entertaining, and he wants to play an offensive style and a high pressure style up the field and basically win possession of the ball and counter-attack and get your victories that way. But it's not always so easy, especially when you go to places like Celta Vigo, where they're on a consistent run of winning games, and they're a difficult team to compete against. They've got a great deal of talent in their squad as well. Barca's team was interesting, right? I mean, obviously, offensively, Marcus Rashford with another outstanding performance in, a couple of assists from him. You must be impressed with what he's done, obviously, at Barcelona.
He's reignited his career. He needed this.
100% reignited his career, and I think for the England international stage, you're also excited to see and have a healthy, happy Marcus Rashford, because he brings quality. If you think of Harry Kane potentially replacing a Lewandowski or a Ferran Torres, who plays for Barcelona, up top there, and it's Harry Kane in the World Cup, I would love to see Rashford at some point have an impact from the bench or even start for England during the World Cup, and especially leading up to the World Cup. But they're just so quality going forward, Barcelona. They're always going to score goals, and Lewandowski, with the form that he's in right now, if you can keep him healthy, he's still going to score goals for you. The hat-trick is sensational. But at the end of the day, the topic will always be about what Barca do in the big picture. The trophies at the end of the season. And mark my words, if they continue to play this high line, and I know they won this game, and I know they scored more goals than the opponent, but if they continue to play this high line, Barcelona might win absolutely nothing this season. It's so weird to me that Hansi Flick consistently tries to play this way. I'm going to throw this out to you as well, right? Not many people know this because they probably didn't follow the German national team. That's why he was fired from the German national team, for consistently trying to play this high back line, high pressure, and at many times your back four is standing in the opposition half. It's absolutely ludicrous to continuously have to go on about this. They have to change in some way. It can't continue like this. They've got to either defend better or score 5 goals to win games.
The first goal, they were in the opposing half, the 4 defenders.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. I mean, you just don't see that. And I understand that in football, you know, there are times when that works, and it isn't just Hansi Flick's sides, Barcelona and previously as well in Germany.
Sure.
There are times when that is the right play, and we have seen it be used successfully, you know, all the way back to the 90s and Arsenal and some of the other teams we've talked about. But the problem is, if you stick with it as diligently as Hansi Flick has, you also become predictable. Teams know it. 100%. I mean, look today. Celta Vigo were just sat on that halfway line waiting for the through ball, trying to catch them in behind.
Against Club Brugge, we were talking about a post-game. All I would really look to do is to play the offside in training days leading up to a game against Barcelona, because all you need is that one player to just keep himself onside. And every single player knows that if you're going to play a ball over the top, don't play it straight down the middle where the goalkeeper could potentially be the sweeper keeper. Yeah. You got to play it at an angle so that your wingers have a potential to get on the end of it, but then go towards goal. And that's what they did do. They were absolutely brilliant, Celta Vigo, in breaking that trap. They should have scored 5 goals from it. They just didn't take advantage of it because they didn't have the quality when it come to finishing. But they caused a few problems for this Barcelona side. Take nothing away. Barcelona offensively are an absolute weapon, but they're going to have to be. They're going to have to score. Instead of winning games 2 and 3 goals, scoring goals, you're going to have to start winning games by scoring 4 and 5 goals, which I think is problematic at the end of the day.
Let's talk a bit more about this man. How much of a role do you think he's going to play going forward? He will get his opportunities because they're just in so many competitions, but will he always be playing second fiddle now?
I don't know if he'll always be playing second fiddle. I think he's still working himself back to 100% full fitness. What is full fitness for a 37-year-old? I don't really know. But the fact is he's still scoring goals. We just mentioned that 7 goals in 10 appearances that he's made this season. He's outstanding, right? He's the type of player that you can rely on to score goals when it matters most. This season he's missed a few big opportunities, glaring chances that you would expect him to stick in the back of the net. But he's outstanding. What he does is consistently good. It's so beautiful. He's now the 3rd oldest player to score a hat-trick in La Liga in the 21st century, which is spectacular in itself. But when you've got the young whippersnappers that are playing around you, I mean, I'm talking about Lopez, Olmo, Lamine Yamal, obviously Rashford not so young, but you've got Rafinha coming back. He's going to last forever. He just needs to be in and around that penalty area, taking opportunities in front of goal. I mean, that's a life of luxury for someone like Lewandowski, and especially when you've got a Ferran Torres who's getting better and more consistent minutes at him. I don't think Levy needs to play every single game. I think you protect him for those big games, and those big games are going to be very important to have your best 11, because at the end of the day, like we've just been talking about, the defensive structure and the tactical approach from Hansi Flick, as he says, is not going to change because it's the DNA, we are Barca. Then you're going to need Lewandowski to be banging in braces and hat-tricks to win football games at the highest level.
Let's move it on to Real Madrid. Not been a great week at all for them, was it? They lost to Liverpool at Anfield in the Champions League, couldn't score in that game, couldn't score today against Rayo Vallecano. And we have to say they do have not a great record against Vallecano in recent years, and it's a tough place to go, but still, they should be expecting to win this game. How do you think that man there, Xabi Alonso, is feeling about the way things are going over the last week or so?
Obviously, interesting week for him, and obviously challenging as a manager of Real Madrid. You're expected to win every single game, even when you're playing in derby games against Rayo Vallecano, where you've had one victory in the last 6 now. It's a difficult place to go play, right? Vallecas is a real fortress there, and Rayo get up for this game. I thought it was a brilliant game. I love to see these types of battles in La Liga, and I love to see how Real Madrid handles these types of battles, because it's not easy for Vinny Jr. and Mbappe and Bellingham to go to these places and get booted all over the place, and the fans are all at you. You're asking for a different style from these guys. Kylian Mbappe struggled, obviously. He now failed to score in back-to-back games for the first time since April, which is crazy to say. Bellingham was okay. Vinny Jr. I thought was one of the more outstanding players, especially in the first 45 minutes. I thought he would get a goal in this game. He was problematic for their right fullback. But I just want to see a little bit more from Real Madrid. I want to see a little bit more killer from them. Mbappe didn't even have a single shot in the first 45 minutes, which I can't remember the last time that ever happened in his career. But that quality has to come in these types of games. If you want to wrap the title up early, these types of games, you know all about it. You got to find a way to win games, and they didn't. Tough opponent. You'll take a point, I think, more than anything.
We saw Arda Güler in those photos there. He has come in for a little bit of criticism. You know, generally has done pretty well this season. Obviously, he's a young player, still learning to play for a club as big as Real Madrid.
Yep.
Do you think he's disappointed in these 2 big games this week?
Yeah, I do. Listen, Arda Güler is someone who's obviously shone brightly since the beginning of this season, and I think under Alonso, he's been one who's been put to the forefront. He's playing a lot of games, and he's returned a favour with 3 goals in the Liga. He's got 1, obviously, elsewhere as well. And I think he's a talented player. He's only 20 years old. We forget that about Arda Güler, so there's more to come from him. But Alonso needs a little bit more grit from this team. You know, in these games where it's not quite going your way, you just have to be winning ugly sometimes. Real Madrid need to find ways to win ugly games sometimes, and that game against Rayo Vallecano, I know it's a difficult place, and we said the statistic, they haven't won there since 22 and 1 win in 6. I get it, I understand it, but champions find ways to win games, you know. The last time they did win there was in 22 when Benzema scored the winning goal, and that team found it hard in that game, but they still found a way to win the game. This game needed a match winner. Mbappe didn't step up, Vinny Jr. didn't step up, Bellingham didn't step up. We almost got Militao at the end of the game. But I think Alonso will be happy with the point. I think you got to move on to that next game.
Yeah, and they're still top of the table. They'd certainly take that.